What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to Jiu Jitsu. I appreciate you clicking on the video. For today's video, I'm going back to teaching you guys how to beat bigger people. And specifically, I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I use or the takedowns that I use to take down larger opponents. At the very least, I'll give you some tips, some tricks, and some concepts to keep in mind when you do start standing with larger opponents. No matter what, wrestling is hard. Add in some size discrepancy and some size differences and it gets even more difficult. But these are the techniques that I have found success with, and hopefully they help you as well. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and hit the bell notification if you want to see more videos in the future. Let's get right into it, guys.
As you can see, Noah is in fact taller than me. He's a bigger opponent. And we're going to talk about takedowns when it comes to taking down someone taller or bigger than you. I've got 3 takedowns that I generally look for against a larger opponent, and none of them involve a position where I could get sprawled on or he could take my back. So I'm not looking at big judo tosses or double legs or blast doubles or anything, fireman's carries. I'm not looking to get underneath Noah because those positions are where they're going to sprawl and I'm going to feel the full force of their weight on top of me. So the first takedown I'm going to go over is the fake guard pull to ankle pick. If you guys have watched any of my competition videos, you've probably seen me do some of these takedowns or at least variations of these takedowns in my matches. So obviously you can do them against people your weight as well, but these are the lowest risk for people bigger than you. So the first one will be the guard pull ankle pick, and I'm gonna look for sleeve collar right here, just like I would for a guard pull, and I'm gonna put my foot up on his hip like I'm gonna pull guard. Now when I do this, my opponents, they don't wanna end up in the closed guard, so they usually bring their back foot forward and sit their hips back, like they're gonna avoid me pulling them down. So when I go here, I go for my fake guard pull, he sits his hips forward like that. He brings his hips back and his foot forward, and I immediately drop, grabbing his ankle, and then launching him back into the ankle pick, right? Even if I miss the takedown, Noah can't sprawl on me, right? At the worst, I end up on my back and I'm pulling guard, which is fine, but he can't sprawl and I don't get his whole weight on top of it. So the second takedown that I use, and this is by far the most successful one that I have run into, at least against bigger opponents, is the arm drag to inside trip. So if we're standing here, I'll look for Noah to reach just a little bit too far forward. I'm gonna grab his wrist, reach for the tricep as an arm drag, and I'm gonna stuff his hand into my pocket. As I do that, you can see our feet are staggered here. So my front foot is gonna try and hook the inside of his front foot. So he reaches, I grab, tricep, I'm dragging his arm forward towards me, and I shoot my leg. Boom. And as I do that, I reach my arms around his hips, ending with the takedown, controlling the hips, pressure right here, so that he can't attack an omoplata, okay? The reason that this works against larger opponents is because it basically takes away Noah's ability to sprawl on me. If I have his front foot pulling towards me, he can't get it behind him and he can't drop his hips. So one more time here. And another way that you can set this up is just by grip fighting and controlling their hands. So if we're grip fighting here and I get control of his hands like this, then I can easily switch to an arm drag on whatever side I prefer, or whatever side his leg is forward on, right? So I've got his hands, I've got the arm drag setting up, so I pull his hand, reach for the tricep, take a step, and then my forward leg drops, hugging the hip, finishing the takedown. And I still have control of his front leg, which takes away any ability for him to sprawl. The other set of takedowns that I like to use against bigger opponents are single legs and single leg variations. Typically like a low single or a sweep single, just to prevent my opponent from really being able to sprawl all of his weight on my shoulders. So if we're here, I'm looking for, switch your feet for me. So if we're here, I'm looking for our feet to be kind of in line. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step to the side and I'm gonna drop and grab low on the ankle right here, and then put my pressure, I've got my head and neck right on his kneecap, right? So as I drive, I lift his foot and push with my shoulder, right? He either falls there or I come up right here in my single leg grip so that I can start attacking a regular single leg takedown. Basically any of those single leg variations are gonna be good because it takes away their ability to sprawl as well, okay? Like I said, stay away from hip tosses against bigger people because 1, your body has to support all the weight, and 2, if you do like a ogoshi or a drop seonagi or something like that, your back is exposed, and if you don't actually take them down, they're gonna end up on your back or on top of you. The other thing that you gotta think about with takedowns and standing with a larger opponent is most likely their grips are gonna be way stronger than yours. So you shouldn't get into the habit of letting them establish control. If you let a bigger person get control of your collar or your sleeve or something, one, they've got the grips that they want, and two, you may not be able to break those grips. Like maybe you break the sleeve grip or whatever, but their collar grip is so strong you can't even get it off. That's why you want to generally just avoid them getting any control. So if I'm hand fighting and Noah's reaching, okay, I'm always parrying and trying to get control first. I want to shoot before they do if my plan is to take them down.
There you have it. My tips, tricks, concepts, and techniques for taking down people bigger than you. Hopefully you guys found this video beneficial. Again, like the video if you did. And in the comment section below, throw in your favorite takedown if you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay consistent. Go train.